In this video, we're going to glue our carbon fiber square tubes together with our rig. This allows us to get repeatable exact spacing in between our 3D printed parts when it comes to our tubes. To start, we will link the arm body to the external gear mount. Push the arm body into the mount with the spaces for the pulleys sticking up. You want to dry fit everything first to make sure that it will go together without error. After you've ensured that the 52mm carbon fiber tube will fit fine, you're going to put epoxy into the square hole on the arm body. Make sure to get in the corners and get the epoxy distributed evenly. Then, put some on top of your tube and stick it in the hole. Take it out and rotate it, and then put it back in to ensure that the epoxy gets spread evenly. Then, fill the hole on the external gear mount with epoxy. Make sure to get plenty in the corners. Put some more epoxy on the tube and slide the external gear mount onto the tube. Epoxy will seep out, which you want to wipe off later. After this, push the external gear mount into the rig. Make sure both the external gear mount and arm body are both completely flush with the rig. Wipe most of the epoxy and let it dry overnight. Once this is dried, we're going to move on to connecting the end arm hub with the arm body. Take your arm body from earlier and mount it onto the other part of the rig for the arm body. Put an axis intersection piece on the other end. Then, take your 264mm carbon fiber tube and dry fit it with the plastic pieces. Before gluing, we must correct the wobble with the axis intersection. To fix this, take a carbon fiber strake and put it into one of the holes at the top of the axis intersection and push it down all the way. This will fix it in place, and now you're ready to glue. Fill in the hole in the arm body as you did with the first one, making sure to get the corners. Put some epoxy on both sides of the tube itself, and also be sure to get the axis intersection as well. Once you push it in, be sure to wipe epoxy completely on the axis intersection. Excess is okay on the arm body. Let it dry overnight. While that is drying, you can move on to the end arm hub to differential rig. In your diff body A, you want to put in a 6705 bearing before putting it on the rig, as it will help align it. Then, take your end arm hub and 237mm carbon fiber tube and put epoxy on the walls of one end of the tube as well as around the square protrusion on the end arm hub. Slide the end arm hub into the tube until it is flush. You must wipe the end arm hub very well, as epoxy sometimes drips into where the belts come out of. A sharp object may help spread it around. After that, glue the other side of the tube with a generous amount of epoxy. Glue the diff body as well and push it into the tube bearing side down. Make sure no epoxy seeps into any of the holes on the diff body, and if it does, make sure to wipe it completely. Then press the pieces into the rig. The 4 cylinders on the rig should match up with the 4 holes on the back of the end arm hub. If it's not long enough fully compressed, you may need to pull the 3D printed parts out slightly. Once your pieces are on the rig, let it dry overnight. This completes the video for the tube rigs.